Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rogers Kakasungura YouTube channel. A big thank you for the support you are granting this platform. Nataka niwashukuru sana mashabiki wangu kwa sababu jana niliwapatia story ya msichana mmoja ambaye baba yake alifariki kwa kuangukiwa na mawe wakati alikuwa anachimbua mawe ili atengeneze kokoto aende kuuza, aende kulipa school fees. Msichana huyo anasoma Nyabohanse Girls Form 3 na as we speak yuko nje, alifukuzwa school fees. Babaka alifariki last year, aliangukiwa na mawe. Mumechanga. We were supposed to raise 170,000. So far tumefika 130,000 Kenyan shillings. So tumebakisha 40,000 so that Monday tumpeleke shule. If you can manage, ile Mungu atakuguza nayo. Ile tu ukiangalia mfuko yako unaona Mungu atakujalia nayo. Iwe 5,000, iwe 1,000, iwe 500, iwe 100, tuchange. Monday ni amuka asubuhi, huyu msichana tumpeleke shule, tumlipia school fees add from 4. Hatutaki afukuzwe. She is a very clever student kwa sababu anakaa nje the whole term. Anaenda exam day and she has never scored less than a B. The highest grade I've seen she has scored is an A-. That is a bright student mwenye atufai kuachilia ili akae nje. So please support her with the little you can. Monday tumpeleke shule, arudi class. Back to politics. Ladies and gentlemen, kuna ukweli katika chama cha ODM na kuna ukweli katika Raila Odinga, na huu ukweli ni huu. Raila Odinga cannot survive by sitting down without campaigning, without contesting at I have supported so and so. ODM cannot be comfortable in such an environment. It cannot be comfortable. ODM eats by opposing the government. Hata sasa hiyo maana wamekaa kwa broad based siku chache, wamerudi mahali walikuwa. Akina Nyang'i Nyong'o siku hizi wanatandika Ruto. Akina Gladys Wanga siku hizi wanatandika Ruto. People have changed. Raila Odinga mwenyewe siku hizi anatandika Ruto. So at no point that ODM will sit iseme nao Ruto 5 tena warudi wakae. Ati sasa tumesupport Ruto ni sawa, sasa ODM haiko kinyang'anyiro, wacha Ruto aendelee na uongozi. Those are wet dreams. And I've told you, and I want to repeat it here, that there is no way that Raila will sit in 2027 and just endorse William Ruto. Forget about it. Hao watu wawili wanaitwa Ruto na Raila, they are playing hide and seek. And the only person speaking the truth is Edwin Sifuna. Senator, Nairobi Senator Edwin Sifuna. He is the only sober mind in ODM that speaks facts. Yenye mnafikiria Sifuna is against Raila Odinga, but Sifuna speaks the true position of the ODM party. And that is the true position. Can we listen? Edwin Sifuna alikuwa Citizen TV. Can we listen to him?
Do you still hold the ground that President William Ruto will lose the election in 2027 even with support from Raila Odinga?
First, campaigns have begun. I don't know what the Deputy President is talking there. He's addressing a rally, a political rally. They have already begun campaigns for 2027. Let me say one thing about what my colleagues have said. I will answer your question. As senators, really, there are things that I don't expect a senator to say. If the document says, Hillary, that we must protect devolution so that there are no clawbacks, if the national government wants to undertake county functions, there is a procedure.
CDF.
There is a procedure for that. You cannot be supporting it, and yet you are sworn to defend devolution, devolved units, and their governments. Thirdly, Trevor, if indeed Ojenda was honest about dealing with the question of marginalization, there is a fund established under this constitution called the Equalization Fund. He would be pushing for the national government to honor its obligations under that particular fund so that all of us who have faced marginalization, and I've said, all of us who support Raila Odinga, we have been marginalized. And Raila Odinga is a leader of all of us. Let us also not forget William Ruto's role in that marginalization. In the past 10 years, it is this same William Ruto who was deputy president of the Republic. So when that marginalization was happening, as they are saying these days, how has he suddenly become clever? Where was he in 2013, 2020, when all these road projects were being taken to these other areas? When we in ODM were being marginalized by the Jubilee administration under his stewardship together with the former president, where was his cleverness? Where was this cleverness that we are hearing from here? Now, to your question, lastly, there is something he said here that the president has championed the devolution. Last year, in fact, it was the last financial year. We were shocked as a Senate. We passed a bill, the Division of Revenue Bill, allocating 385 billion Kenya shillings to county governments. The president brought it back with a memorandum suggesting that we as a Senate cut that allocation back to 380. This is the same president who stood up recently and said, awachiwe barabara za county. The constitution under the 4th schedule defines 2 levels of roads, national roads and county roads. A supporter of devolution cannot stand up and say, muniwachi hizi barabara. Hilary, let us be honest even in these discussions, that if there is an enemy of devolution, you say this is an enemy of devolution because of his own conduct and his words. If it were not for us as a Senate to stand up and say we cannot send money that is less than what we had allocated, even in the previous financial year, counties would not have gotten this 387. That was not William Ruto. It was me as a senator sitting in the mediation committee with the National Assembly fighting for those resources as I swore to do. To your question, Trevor, ODM, we have said repeatedly, including as recently as when we were in Mombasa for an event there with Honorable Raila Odinga, that ODM exists to fight for political power in these democratic processes. We still intend, we have not given up our quest to lead this country. So we will be in the field to face whoever it is else will be there, including President William Ruto. And the natural consequence of that is we will make him a one-term president because we want to grab that power from him, so that we can do the things that we are saying we believe in. That is my straight answer. And it doesn't matter how cleverly you people frame this question. My views are never going to change, Trevor, because I still continue to receive feedback that even with this so-called,
call it broad-based. There is no harm. Call it broad-based.
This so-called development tours. He is still facing a lot of resistance. Tom Ojenda, my brother, let us focus on software issues as well. I was explaining to Oburu because he said, which other rights do you want, you people? If you have gotten roads, if you have got... That's not all it is about, There are software issues in this country. I have said here that we want a democratic state, and which is what this document says. Unaona? Trevor, these people don't want to read this document, or they don't want me
But I've read it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is Edwin Sifuna. Edwin Sifuna is very categorical and very clear. Sifuna amesema sisi kama chama cha ODM in 2027 lazima tukue na candidate kwa ballot who is going to challenge William Ruto. That's what ODM has said. Wamesema sisi kama chama hatutaketi chini eti sasa tumesupport UDA ati tunaangalia tuwacha waende. No. Sifuna is very clear. As ODM, we will have a candidate in the ballot. Lazima tukue na candidate wa kumenyana na Ruto. And that is it. And that is the position of the ODM. If you think I'm lying, Gladys Wanga, juzi tu in Homa Bay, amesema chama cha UDA kitakuwa kwa ballot in 2027. So what am I saying? The marriage between Raila and William Ruto ni ndoa ya kukula tu. It is not a marriage aimed at supporting William Ruto in 2027. And the greatest mistake William Ruto did is by divorcing the Mount Kenya region. I will tell you why in my next analysis, and how William Ruto has plotted to compensate the votes of the Mount Kenya region. So stay tuned in my next video. But let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the broad-based government is there just a name. The broad-based government is not there functionally. And the broad-based government was not formed to end tribalism, as people say. It was not formed to end youth unemployment. It was not formed to bring down the cost of living. It was formed for people to eat. Period. That is who the broad-based government is. If you're watching this, kindly make sure you click the subscribe button. And of course, remember to turn on your notification bell. God bless you. See you in the next episode. Asanteni sana.